What's going on, YouTube? This is the Out the Beer Flamesword, and I promised you all 2 days ago that I was going to do a Halo 5 impressions, and because of the 24-hour live stream, I ended up not doing that. It is my fault that I didn't put this video up earlier or even do this video, but today, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians. So what I was supposed to do before the entire 24-hour live stream was put up a video of my impression of Halo 5 Guardians, since we all got to play it at the Master Chief Collection launch party over there in California. And what I have to say about it quickly is that yes, a lot of people have watched it and were like, "This isn't Halo." They're going way far away from what Halo was. This they put ADS in it. That's not Halo, right? It's supposed to be a scope. Quickly before I go into my impressions, that listen, all Halo is a very hard thing to improve on from what we all remember and what we loved about it, right? What we loved about it was how simple it was. But when you think about that, how much more simpler can you get than simpler, right? Like if Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3 were the most simple Halos ever, right? Then how do you make a fourth one like Halo Reach came out when initially it was only supposed to be a trilogy, right? Like how do you stick to the storyline of Halo without making the people who love the story mode hate the game because of so many changed things? For example, you can't improve on an assault rifle, right? Like the assault rifle in Halo 1 is going to be the same way all the way to the newest Halo. You just can't change anything to it. All you can do is modify it and classify it as a new weapon, but you still need to have that assault rifle. The battle rifle can never change into something where it becomes a 4 burst, where it becomes a 5 burst, right? Like that can't change. Like it's got to stick to being a 3 burst because that's what it says in the book, and that's the whole storyline behind it, and that's what we all remember. So as we continue saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be simple, man. Halo's supposed to be simple, simple, simple." It's very hard to stick to simple when the first three did such a great job of being simple, and now we live in a new generation where games are evolving, and you really have to just be able to be open minded and accept it. Not like how we were for Reach. The thing with Reach for me was that Bloom should have never been in the game, right? Like the shooting mechanic should have always been the same, where it was a reticle. If it's red, that's where you're going to hurt put damage on the enemy, and that's how it is. But enough of that little ranting of just the simplicity of Halo that we all love, and about Halo 5 Guardians now is that I got to play it when me, Pistola, Walshy, and Strongshot did that show match a while back for Gamescom when we flew out to Seattle. And let me tell you, from what I played in LA at the launch party compared to what I played initially at the first moment, it was a huge, huge improvement. I was skeptical on the first time I touched Halo 5 Guardians over there in Seattle, but as soon as I was able to touch it in LA, and we did a 3 hour feedback. Golden Boy was also with us. We did a 3 hour session feedback. We put a camera on. Bravo recorded us, and for 3 hours we stood at the studio with no one around us, just us, the gamers, and we really crashed into the game. Right, we picked it apart and was like, "This is what you got to change, man. This is what you got to add. These are the core things that us Halo fans from the very beginning love, and that's what you're going to have to put in the game." And so ADS did throw some people off, but it's not really ADS, if I could say that. It is a more of a smart scope, which is just basically what we're always used to, is a scope, and it just changes a little bit. Now, the battle rifle makes it look like ADS because of the type of scope on it, but let me tell you, from initially there might have not been D-scope, and it seems like they finally put that back in, which is what I love about them taking our feedback serious. And the feedback with the BR, which does look more ADS style compared to the other smart scopes, is that it worked, right? Like it worked the way I wanted to, and it didn't disorientate me because that was a big thing with a lot of original Halo players is that I hated scoping because when it would pop me back out of scope, I'd get like sick trying to zoom back in. But this one works perfectly fine because I believe of the field of vision and just how beautiful the game looks and how smooth it runs at 60 frames per second. Now, the thing that everyone else is also asking about is all the new additions to it: the shoulder charge, the ground and pound, the thruster, the clamber. And on shoulder charge, I think it's pretty cool. But I think shoulder charge might not be one of the ones that is super, super needed. It could be super effective and it could lead to some cool montage stuff, right? Like you clutch it with a shoulder charge. And it should always be to the point where it isn't too OP, obviously. Like nothing should ever be OP. Everything should always be in Halo something that involves you playing the game for X amount of hours so you get a skill based idea around it and how to use it effectively in the proper situation. So shoulder charge I didn't get to really use, and so it's going to be cool to see how they're going to try to incorporate that into the game to actually use it a lot more. Um, Thruster packing was cool to me because the map seemed to be the size where it worked, right? And the thruster pack wasn't like the evade where people were like, "Oh my god, I want to fucking pull my hair out," because the evade was just so freaking OP. The thruster pack worked, and I enjoy the way it did work because it allowed just to this new speed up of the game and allowed you to do some new jumps. Now, with the new jumps, the clamber is still something that I am skeptical about. I do enjoy it just for the purposes that I got to play Halo 5 Guardians initially, but what I always was also good at Halo was learning how to do crouch jumps and specific jumps to get myself to certain areas that other players wouldn't be able to do unless they also practice those jumps. So Clamor kind of takes away from all those skill jumps, which is something that I'm worried about because I think skill jumping in Halo was important for both competitive play and there was just an entire jumping community out there of you all that made crazy jump videos like on Halo 3 on Narrows. There were like these little icicles and you guys all jumped off of them and I don't know how many hours it took you all to do it, but you did it, and it looked crazy once you put it on video. So Clamor takes away from some things like that. So I'm intrigued to see if in the beta they wouldn't mind putting a version of it, with clamber, and then maybe tweaking it for the next day with no clamber, and seeing how people react, seeing how much people enjoy it that much. But I mean, you are Master Chief, you are this badass, so I mean, it does kind of make sense that you jump at something and your hand grabs onto it and you climb on top of it. I mean, that just makes sense, right? You're 7 foot tall, you're a beast, man. You're Master Chief, you're a boss. And so the other thing also was ground pound. Ground pound was to me was actually cool because it didn't seem OP at all, right? Like you always had to ground pound to a certain range, and unless the circle was white at the bottom of the floor, you wouldn't be able to what's it called, ground pound. And so it took a learning curve even for myself, who played it initially the first time to the time in LA to actually know how to use ground pound. And I actually got a double kill with it, which was freaking sweet. But it does charge up. You do hear the noise of it, so it's not something that's going to be OP in my book because you're going to be able to see the person floating in the air, right? And that gives you the opportunity just to zap them from across the map. You're not going to be able to ground pound within 1 second. It's not like you click the button and then boom, you ground pound and that's it. It takes a charge up, which is cool, and that's what I like. And moving on to the next thing is sprint. Sprint has always been something that us Halo people are like, why do you keep doing this? Why? Take it out of the game. And I'm still one of the ones that are always like, I'd rather have it out of the game than in the game. But this sprint freaking worked, man. Like, if you start sprinting when your shields are down, so even if you're at 90% shield and you start sprinting and you never stop sprinting, your shields aren't going to recharge. There's this meter on top of the HUD bar that shows that when you're sprinting, it maxes out. And then once you stop sprinting, that bar's got to come back down to zero in order for your shields to recharge. So I enjoy that because now it doesn't allow a player to sprint, do a stupid play, maybe you get no shield, and because of sprint, be able to escape, right? Like it makes you actually think about the entire metagame a lot more and how you have to truthfully and effectively now for the first time use sprint as opposed to let me just go sprinting around the corner, punch this guy. He's going to punch me too. I'm going to run away, and then my teammate's going to be able to finish him. And I have cover around me that because of my sprint, I could escape quickly and get away. And then the guy's going to be like, man, I hate sprint, man. If that was a one-on-one battle, he would have never got away. I wouldn't have to have sprint chase them because he missed his melee and I hit him to no shield. And because he got the sprint quicker than me because of just hitting the button quicker and getting away. By the time I chased him, I just got zapped by their team. So I do like the way sprint works. It's going to punish people who just try to sprint all the time. So it's going to have to make you really think, and that's something that Halo fans should love because that was the simplicity of the thing, right? It had to make you think, and it wasn't just quick and dry. It was simple, but it made you think on how to always take out and destroy your opponent. The other thing is that 60 frames feels incredible. Shooting times, kill times feels a lot faster. If you all wanted the game to go back to Halo 1 style, Halo 2, where it took a lot of individual skill, you're going to have that in Halo 5. You die so quick. I mean, a BR feels like the kill time so much quicker and everything. The sword is awesome. I like how the sword is in Halo 2 Anniversary right now. And, they improved and kept it that strong style based going to Halo 5 Guardians from what we've seen so far. Obviously, after the beta, there's could be a lot of tweaks and a lot of feedback from just all of us, the community, on what they should do to improve it. So I enjoyed it. We only got to play one map. It was kind of a midship feel map with a little different aspects changed up. but I enjoyed it, and so my impressions on Halo 5 for right now all is that I did like it. I did like the improvement that I saw from the initial time I played it, and I can't wait to see how I get to play it more when the beta does come out, where I can play more than 1, 2, 3 games. Right, I can play actually for about an hour a day. I can play for 5 hours, whatever it is. I can just grind it out and then really give more feedback to them, along with the side of you all, and then we could get the Halo game that we all do want. But like I did say, all it's going to be impossible to ever go back to simplicity. Why? Because Halo 1, 2, 3 did the perfect job for that, and you can't mimic that, right? Like we can't go chasing back to try to get to those days because those days were there. Those days were great. It's time for us to just be open minded and accept the days that we're getting now and be like, all right, the reason I'm saying I hate this game is because I wanted it to be like Halo 2. We can't go into a game like that. It just doesn't work, right? You can see that over the generation of all types of games. When people start thinking like that, games usually crash as opposed to people being just open minded. So I enjoyed it. I can't wait till the beta comes out so I could actually get more feedback on things like clamber, if I want that in the game or why, we should take that out of the game for skill jumping and stuff like that. So that is that all. Those are my Halo 5 impressions. Hope you all did enjoy the video. Like I did say in the beginning, I missed doing videos the past 2 days because of the 24-hour live stream. And again, it was my fault. So I had to restart my goal of making a video every day starting today, November 13th, since initially the goal was October 5th, and the past 2 days have ruined that goal. So now I am resetting my goal from now, November 13th, 2014, to November 13th, 2015. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts on Halo 5. And if you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And as always, this is the Out the Beer Flamesword. See you later. Peace.